or whatever, whatever attracts me to the novel, and I start reading it. If one just says, yeah, I was riding my bike one day, blah, 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 and nothing interesting grabs me, then, I'm gonna put it down. But if another one says,
I was speeding on my bike with the wind in my hair.
Yeah, describing the day, the scenery, and then my mind goes to that place.
I said you're being long-winded.
Am I? Wow. Wrap it up, she says. And with that, we're going to wrap it up. We're probably going to find a song about wrapping it up, too.
Hi, mighty back in this. You think you know what I'm meaning? I'm just an 86 witness. You think you know? Take it out, you suckers, and you don't know how I did it. You think you know what I'm meaning? Yo, get out the game if you think you're going to win it. You think you know what I'm meaning? Maybe if I pop crystal, said I had a Lexus or a triple beam, I get a deal. I'd rather speak upon Maurice cheek skills. It's the outer paper, not the caps I peel. I use my independent money to pay the rent, remaining hell bent and fall from heaven sent. Where they went, the days when mics got destroyed, bees just bored and soft punks got toyed. Unemployed was a happy-go-lucky MC, and now that's all they fucking be bringing to me. Where they went, the summer concerts on concrete. Elite could put 12 G's in the seats. Now I release a masterpiece of my music. It's 99 and no one could use it. They rather reuse it, the audience confuse it. Take Chuck D's time pop, try to diffuse it. Gotta come cheap to compete. That's why when I choose to go deep, you go sleep on a verse. You're not gonna get at first. Like OJ would never ever get a hearse when he died. Think about the lies over lies. Converse about the hurts of this rap universe. Cause radical elements remain eloquent. The repercussions tear right through the fabric, so act quick. Kids at the top is laughing. They trying to turn hip hop to just plain rapping. Let the poppers pop and the breakers break. Cause it's just so much of this shit that I can take. Now I can't stand the rain. The shit's all the same. Mr. E, excommunicate your whole game. Back in 88, baby, everything was gleaming. The meaning? You think you know what I mean? Where your skills at? Where the ill raps? Where the new tracks? Where your heart at? Where the new jacks? Getting contracts. I got a rhyme that I ain't even wrote yet. The drama classes for the masses. Hip hop, glaucoma, baby, I prescribe the glasses. The vision's nearsight, the narrow-minded, the whack shit that you hear. The song hate and fight. Take it light-hearted, fools act retarded. In 98 lyrics, just disregarded. Now how hard it be, yo, to really concentrate. Writing metaphors, whack shit, I annihilate. Now fools coming through, spilling much gibberish. While mighty mind I stay at Nicholas. Raps a bedpan, and I'll be the nurse. Removing shit with lyrics that I disperse. Nail your coffin, cause your death's epitome. Your fate be taken out, it's most likely. Not likely, we be the high and the mighty. Stomping out crews, the team of the 90s. Gangstar and DOC, Latin, the Dismaster, Showing A, the Crown Ruler, and Dilated, KMD, the Tough Crew, and JVC, the main source, the arsonist.
Yeah, one thing you mentioned in the song is how everything sounds the same, and I could definitely agree with that. One thing about the people who are deciding what gets on the radio, what gets radio play, what they're putting their money behind, if one thing makes it, then they kind of see it as a cookie cutter, like, oh, this, this makes it. So everything that comes through has got to be like this, or else we're not gonna put our money behind it because we know this is what makes money, and it just gets old quickly.
Yeah, but let me play devil's advocate though. Isn't that the evolution? Because at one point, it was all about who had the greatest skills, and that got pushed out into mainstream. Then another point, it was the more conscious, back to Africa rap movement. You know what I mean? And that was
but after they made
Self
Destruction, if you look at everybody who was on Self Destruction, when they actually started talking about stuff collectively together, they wouldn't let them sell daggone Girl Scout cookies after that. So I think, and it's not like everybody didn't like that song. It's not like that song didn't have a following, but I really think it's not so much a style, and that's not even with hip hop, that's with everything. Like, once Beyonce got big, how many other female artists came out and they tried to have their hair similar? Not the artists, but the record company would kind of try to make them into this thing. So it's not so much an evolution, because once an evolution of a genre is one thing, but once you try to make everything cookie cutter like this style, like, what's his name, Shine. Would anybody have given Shine a second look if Biggie hadn't already been big sounding like that?
I mean, I don't know. Shine can flow though.
I think maybe.
Just like,
everybody's entitled to their opinion. I mean, but
I think he can flow. I mean, there's a cat that sounded just like Pac, and I'm gonna try to dig him up.
Please don't.
Yeah.
Don't dig up Pac.
Just like Tupac. He was on some song a while back, but I haven't seen or heard anything else from him.
But there's no originality in that. Like, Shine sounded like Biggie, but what was he talking about?
Like
yeah, but not his content. I'm not saying that had to be like Biggie, but to me it wasn't anything all that.
But whose fault is that though?
His.
It's his fault that his voice sounds like Biggie?
No, it's his fault that his content wasn't much. I'm not saying that's his fault. I'm just saying, would anybody have even given him a second look? Because there's nothing spectacular about his rhyme skill, to me, that I've heard. And a lot of times people don't bring their real stuff not that they don't bring it to the studio, but, a lot of times when it comes, everything is about money. The people who decide what is popular enough to put out to the public, maybe they don't think, that's okay, but, it's probably not going to sell. If they don't believe it's going to sell, then they don't put it out. So maybe he has some stuff that's, in the vault that I haven't heard, but, I'm not saying he's awful.
The stuff that
the stuff that I've heard is just kind of like, it doesn't make me nauseous, but I mean, I don't own anything by him.
Well, I don't know. I guess when I think about it, I shouldn't make a blanket statement and say, like, a lot of the artists that are getting regular play on the radio sound the same, and they sound whack, or I literally can't tell them apart. You know what I mean? Because I don't hear anything unique with them.
Right.
But if I buy their album, which I haven't bought an album in ages, but if I buy their album and I hear a whole variety of songs, I might have a different viewpoint. But I'm making this statement just by going off of what I hear on the radio. Right.
And as we've said, there's not a lot of music on the radio.
Here's the flip side to that, though. Here's the flip side to that. I bought Tweet's album.
I was gonna bring that up.
I bought Tweet's album and for the Southern Hummingbird, I think it was called.
That's
the first album. And if you don't have that album, you need to have that in your collection.
Right, because
that is
the biggest song on there.
I mean, that's
it's real music.
Yeah, it is
real music. It's very creative. It's sincere. You could feel every bit of emotion she put in that album. But the biggest cut on there, or the one everybody knows, is "Oops."
Yeah, the one they played in the club.
Exactly. But that's the single. But
if you went off of that,
then you have no clue. You have no clue.
And I didn't go off of that. I think this was before YouTube. There was something online I looked at, and I got to listen to snippets of it, and I was just like, this album's tight. You know what I mean? So, matter of fact, I think it was, it might have been Napster or something, or Bearshare. I downloaded a few cuts,